Hey there everyone, it's Ravindra Devrani and I have come back with another video. I hope you all are doing fine. If you find this video helpful, then please hit that like button. And today we are going to create fake backend for Angular applications. And fake backends are very helpful when you don't want to create actual REST APIs and still want to use that feature in your project. So here it is a GitHub page for json-server, which we are going to use in our project for creating fake REST APIs, and it is very easy to use. And for more details, please check that page. It is a link of this page. So here you will find detailed documentation for the JSON server, how to install it and how to create a get request, post request, and so much things are written here. So if you want to check it, you can also check it. Okay, and it is a project we are going to create. Here these are the list of users which we are getting from our APIs, and these users are not coming from the actual database or actual APIs. We are using fake REST APIs for that, and it is working perfectly fine. Let's add a user, ID 6, name is DEV, AVINDRA, and xyz.com, and let's add it. And here you can see that we have added this record into our database. Here you can see it still exists here. Okay, now let's get started and move to the code editor. First of all, you need to create a project if you don't have an existing one. I already have created a project so that we can save some time. So after creating a project, now here in terminal type npm install json-server, save. So it is going to install a JSON server for us. Now here let's add a folder and let's name it API, and inside that folder we will create a db.json file, and here we will enter some static data, and it is our array with name users, and these are our objects, id1, name John, etc, etc. Now close it and now create one more file here, routes.json, and here we are going to define a route for our APIs. Now open angular/json file, and here we have to modify something. Yeah, sorry, it's not angular.json, it's package.json, and here we will write this code API, and it will create a shortcut for running this command. So we are defining here. Okay, now let's run this project. Now right here npm run API, and this API is declared here. Actually, we are running this command here with the help of npm run. Okay. Okay, now our server has created. Let's check it. Localhost 3000. Okay, look here, our server has created, and if we write localhost 3000/users, you will get this result. Now move back to our code editor, and to avoid cost problem, we have to do some more settings in this project. So let's see what are these settings. Now create proxy configuration file. So we will create it here, proxy conf.json, and write this code here. Okay, now close it and close it also, and open the angular.json file, and here just enter here and write these lines here, options, and here we will change it to our project name, and our project is YT Angular mock server. Okay, now let's close it also. We have defined some routes for it, and now you can call these APIs like this /API/users, and you will get the list of users. Okay, now let's test these APIs with our Angular project. Okay, now close. Oh, not going to close. Now open the new PowerShell and open here what it is, app.component.ts file and app.component.html file. Okay, and here let's add a folder models and new file user.ts, and export interface user id number string, name string, and email string. So it is our user interface. Now let's create services for our APIs. Okay, now here add a new folder, services. Okay, now and user services.ts, and export class user services. It is our constructor here. Okay, now here we have to write this code injectable, and it is our decorator, and right here provided in root, and we have to open the app.module.ts file, and here we have to import some modules like forms module for the future use, and one more thing, which is HTTP client module, and this module resides inside the http/common/ something like that. Let's see, import HTTP client module from angular/common/http. Okay, now we are good to go, and close it for now. Okay, and now we will use that HTTP module here. So write private http client. Okay, now yes, and here we will write a method get users, and here this dot http dot, okay, here define a base URL which is, okay, let's copy this localhost 3000, but we don't need to write this. Please remove it, don't forget to remove this, because we need relative path here to avoid cost problem. So here users, it is our base URL, and now http dot get, which will be user array, okay, let's see why it is not detecting user model. src here and here is our model. Okay, we haven't created it inside app folder, that's why it is not detecting it. So let's move it inside the app folder. Yes, I want to move it inside the app folder. So it is our interface user, and let's import it manually. Okay, and here this dot base URL, that's it, and right here return also, return. Now here we need a post method and add user, it will be a user type, and it is a user. Okay, now we have created our services. So let's move back to our app.component.ts class, and here we will call these services. Let's remove this title stuff from here, and okay, and here let's write private and user service user service, okay, and private get users. But first let's create an array here, users, user, user. It is array and it is our object. We will use it in future. Add exclamation sign here and here also. So this dot service dot get users, and here dot subscribe. Next response, here let's log our response, console dot res, and here next one is error, err, and console dot log err. And now let's call this get users method inside our constructor. Okay, and write this dot get users. Okay, now let's see, but first we need to run our project. So here write ng serve, okay, now here in browser type localhost 4200 and let's see what's happening in the console. Here it had printed array, it means our service is working perfectly. And now let's display it in our HTML page. So we will use Bootstrap for this. Okay, now we will use Bootstrap CDN for this. Okay, just copy it from here and paste it in our page. Okay, now let's paste it in our index.html page. So here in index.html page, and we are going to use Bootstrap globally in this project by adding it into our index.html page. Okay, now we are good to use our Bootstrap components. Okay, and here div class equals to container, div class equals to row, div class equals to call md6, and here we will write padding top class equals to pt3. Okay, it is fine now, and here we will display our users list. So h3 users, table class table border table e. I forgot to write e. Okay, now add the head, t body, and here tr th id, name, email, and here tr ng4 equals to let user of users td and user dot id, and here user dot name and user dot email. Table is stripped also. So let's check it in browser. So here it is not printing anything. Let's see why it is not printing anything. Okay, because we haven't assigned this array here, so we will assign it this dot users equals to response. Okay, now we are good. Now we will test and post API. So here let's write another method, add users. Okay, and this dot service dot add user dot subscribe, this dot user subscribe, next response, and here error err console dot log err, and here on the successful return we will add this object into our array. So this dot users dot push this dot user. Okay, now here let's create a form here. So here let's copy it and close these two divs. Okay, now here we will create a form, and the submit equals to this method add user. Okay, now right here label id and input type equals to number, and here name equals to id, and ng model equals to user dot id, and let's put them inside a div. Class equals to form group here, and add a class equals to form control. Okay, now add one more field, name. Here name equals to name. Here the last one is email, and input type will be email. Name equals to email, and here email also. Okay, and here let's add a button. Button type equals to submit, class equal to btn dark, and save. Okay, now let's check it how everything is going. Here is error, properties of reading ID. Okay, now I got this problem. We need to define it here, otherwise it will give error. So just remove this exclamation sign, and first ID 0, name equals to empty, and email is also empty. Okay, this problem has gone. So here S3 add user, add user. Let's type 1 2 3. Now let's add fourth user, and which will be okay, it should be text. ID should be 4, and here and email, let's add something random, just like this, and click on save button. And here we have added in our array, and let's refresh this page, and now you can see that we have successfully added these fields inside our database file. Okay, now it's good now. Okay, let's change little bit in our HTML file. So remove this part, this column d6 part, and just remove it, and here and let's 5 and 7. Okay, now let's add one more user, 5, and let's name is Linda @xyz.com, and here we have added Linda successfully into the database. So these things are changed permanently. Here you can see, and you can see when localhost 3000, let's check it in our server, and here click on users, and you can see that you can find these records here also.